Hey, I'm Isaac.
I'm Taylor.
And I'm Zach.
And we're Hanson.
And you're watching Billboard.
What's up? It's Andrew Hamp with Billboard. We're backstage with Hanson. Thanks for joining us. So you guys are here to hang out for a little bit at iHeartRadio, and then you're playing a show tonight.
That's right. We're actually playing our own concert. We're traveling around the country playing our concert tour, but then we were like, oh, iHeartRadio, that looks fun. Let's go see some of that. We'll play our own show, come back for the afterglow, you know.
Exactly.
Excellent. And Taylor, you have an interesting history with iHeartRadio because your band Tinted Windows broke ground at the theater in New York.
We performed. Tinted Windows did the first performance there at that the theater. I think we've gone a long ways. iHeart and I, we talk periodically. We usually just kind of text back and forth.
Yeah.
They seem to be doing okay. They've really grown a lot since we first met.
So you guys have all had different projects over the years. You've been raising your family, but why is Hanson a band still an important thing to keep going?
Well, I mean, as a unit, you always have things that you want to do. I mean, I think each time you go out to write and record a record, you have to make it something you're proud of, but what keeps you going is something else, and there's always something new. So I think that's also why you do other collaborations too. That's right. Is you kind of it keeps you stimulated. One of the great things about what we're doing right now, just the tour, the extensive tour, is you get a chance to really to stretch your musical chops and finish that run, having really pushed yourself to do this stuff that you don't usually take the time to do when you're in the studio, to learn to play some of the covers that you admire, to connect with your fans, and then you usually finish that run going, oh, here's a long list of stuff we want to do next time. This tour is taking us all over the country, and we're kind of nonstop until the end of the year. So stay busy.
Excellent. You're also your own bosses as far as your label management. Yeah. What's that been like, keeping that?
Yeah, so for the last 10 years, we've run our own label and been fully independent. And it's an amazing sort of combination of both. You feel this ease of you really don't have anyone else to please, right. But at the same time, you don't have anyone else who's got your back. And so there's just an interesting balance. But I think what's been really vindicating is you've seen, the whole industry has gone more towards what we're doing. So 10 years ago in 2003, we started the label, and it seemed really, oh, wow, you're doing your own label and independent distribution. But then, now you've seen so many artists really come to that thought process with releasing music. So I think it's a cool thing that we love being in the driver's seat. We've always had that be, part of what we felt was the job of an artist, not to just sit back and we do the music, you make the decisions.
And that's a nice way of saying that we're kind of opinionated and controlling.
But the truth is, when it's interesting to me because when we first started, people see you as young kids and they assume a certain thing. But the reason we started so young was because we were so driven to want to do it. Yeah. And so I think there's a real natural thing to being the label, because it gives you every right. In fact, you better really want to do everything. You better be really passionate. You better be perfectionistic, because if you're not, then your whole business kind of falls apart. So building a team and doing things you're creatively excited about and taking risk, in a way that it's better for me to be able to go out and say, I know what we did, I know how we did it, I know we tried to do this or that, and you take those chances, and some of it works, some of it doesn't, but you sleep well at night every night.
And do you have folks in your broader sphere that kind of serve as your gut check when you're making music, if not a former label boss, or is there friends, family?
We have a lot of long-term relationships and people that we do trust, and I think collaborations with other people, here and there. I mean, for instance, this record, we produced it and wrote it entirely, ourselves, but we also brought in a great mixing partner, Tom Lordalgi, who mixed the first couple records.
He's the mixer,
yeah. Yeah, and he's an incredible mixer, and we had really a long-term relationship with him because we worked with him early on.
That's right.
And so you do have this, hey, here's this record, we know exactly what we wanted, but go ahead and look at this with your own perspective. And then also whenever you release a record with our team, the way we're structured is we have a small, company of, a handful of full-time staff that are always working and doing stuff, but then you work with different, people for different projects. Sometimes it's radio promotion, sometimes it's PR, sometimes it's online marketing, sometimes it's distribution that's different. And that allows you to continue to have different people that come in and help you accomplish things.
Excellent. Well, lastly, your guys' new album, Anthem, dropped in June, and we're fourth quarter is right around the corner. Any albums coming up that you guys are all really excited about?
Oh, gosh, there's a lot of people that are talking. I mean, I think, honestly, we're kind of in the submarine of tour right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the fourth quarter is always mixed with some of the biggest artists that are out there making records. I'm curious about we just went to see the band Muse, and I know they're in the middle of a cycle of still promoting, and they did a show. But I'm kind of curious about where a band like them takes it next. That has this huge amount of production, a huge amount of stage presence. You know, and how they kind of what comes after for them. Curious to hear what Bruno Mars does next, and kind of what he follows up with his next record. Obviously, he's not quite there yet, but I mean, just thinking about the artists that have put in really great records recently, kind of, you know, what's the trajectory like? What are they excited about?